I've just sat down to film this and I realise I don't have tea. That is unacceptable. Hold your horses, I'll be right back. Tea situation rectified in a TARDIS mug. Hell yeah. So I am way behind on recording these wrap-up review things. I think this is number 3 I've done. Not sure. So let's jump straight into the books, starting with Haruki Murakami's The Strange Library. This is my first Murakami book and I just thought it was short and cute and it was a good place to start. It pretty much is what it says on the tin, which is a strange library. A young boy is walking home from school one day and wonders, you know, how did they collect taxes in the Ottoman Empire? And so he pops into his local library to find out. A guy gives him the book and then locks him in a cell and said, if you don't learn it off by heart, I'm going to eat your brains. Bit full on. All these magical and mystical and wonderful things happen. It's a bit Alice in Wonderland, down the rabbit hole, follow the yellow brick road moments in it. Personally, it wasn't for me. I didn't find the story strong enough to hold on to the magical side of it. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Mainly those 3 stars were for the beauty of this book. As a piece of artwork, it is gorgeous. You have the hardback cover. It has a little thing that you can put the little kind of tabs from... Do you remember when you used to get library tabs? Loved them. And it is full of pictures and pieces of artwork and so on. If I carry on, there's a really good one. From the books that this protagonist is reading while he's locked in the cell. Next up, I read as a buddy read with Sylvia from Wish Fulfillment, Vivian vs. the Apocalypse by Katie Cole. This book follows 17-year-old Vivian Apple as she is about to go into a world that's going into apocalypse. You know, now and again we get told that there's going to be the end of the world, like the Mayans said it was going to be the end of the world a little while ago, and then before that you get some religious dude who says, you know, the rapture's coming, God help us all, hold on to your tights. Well, this is what's happening in this book, and it is the night before the big so-called rapture, and Vivian goes to a rapture party with her mate Harp, and they have a whale of a time, and then she goes home the next morning to find that her parents are missing. And there's 2 holes in the ceiling. Oh my god, has the rapture actually happened? Now on the surface this is a sort of road trip book because you've got the 2 best friends, you kind of got love interest going, you've got adventures, they go off to try and find out what's going on and find themselves. But underneath, oh my god, underneath there is so much more to this book. You have a look at corporate America, you have a look at organised religion, you have a look at the fact that people will follow whoever is kind of shouting the loudest when they're really, really scared, the kind of fear-mongering. The relationship between Vivian and Harp is brilliant. It's a friendship that I absolutely love, and Harp is my new kind of warrior hero. I flippin' love her. I think I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. If I didn't, I don't know why I didn't, and I will be going and amending it because I loved this book. So much so that 20 pages before the end I thought, they're going to have to wrap this up pretty quick unless it's just going to be ending kind of out there somewhere. Then I found out there is a second, it is a series. I'm not sure if there's going to be a 3rd one, but Vivian vs. America. So I went on to read this, which carries on the story. I can't really say where it carries on to without giving away the whole plot of Vivian vs. America. This one didn't quite have the pace of the first book, and I have to say I didn't find it quite as funny. Harp is in it less, and Harp is the kind of sarcastic, funny voice through the whole book. To be honest, I would have liked if Vivian vs. America had been a standalone because I thought it ended in a really good place. But at the same time, Katie Cole gives us what the fans want and carries on with the story. I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. Then I felt like a bit of a reread, and so I picked up The Host by Stephanie Meyer with, oh my god, a bonus chapter. I will get into that in a minute. But this is about an alien takeover, basically. Aliens have come in and taken over all of humanity. Some humans are strong enough to withstand them and to kind of talk back. So there's 2 people or 2 personalities or 2 souls, because that's what these aliens are called, in one body. I really, really loved this book. I know Stephanie Meyer, Twilight, you're going to get a lot of kickback from that. And a lot of people won't pick up this book because of that, but please do, because it's not Twilight, and it has some really interesting questions about humanity and how we get along and things like that. And the bonus chapter, okay, I have to talk about the bonus chapter. I'm just going to say it. She wakes up. It's when Melanie wakes up, and I loved it. I always wanted to know kind of what Melanie's reaction would be, and we finally get it, so very, very happy I read this. Then I read Salt and Stone by Victoria Scott, which is the 2nd in the Fire and Flood series. I won't go into this too much as I've done a full review on it before, and I will link that down below, so go check it out. But this is brilliant. I love the Fire and Flood series. It is about a young girl named Tella whose brother is dying, and to get a cure for his illness she goes on a challenge called the Brimstone Bleed with a lot of other people who are trying to get cures for their loved ones' illnesses. Cannot wait for the third one in the series. And Daisy kindly also sent me for my birthday All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. It is about Finch and Violet, who are both going through some troubling times, and they find themselves both at the top of the clock tower, not quite intending to commit suicide, but they ain't up there for good reasons. They get teamed up for an assignment at school where they have to go on a kind of scavenger hunt and wander around and discover the places that they live, and they become friends as they work through their issues. Now, I don't want to say too much about this without giving away too many spoilers, but I found this book very intriguing. I found it very interesting. Apparently, Jennifer Niven has dealt with all the issues in this book. It does deal with depression and suicide, anxiety, and I think a little bit of split personality disorder, because one of the main protagonists, Finch, changes his appearance a lot, and every time he changes his appearance he takes on a kind of new persona. He keeps trying out these different personas to try and find something that fits, because he doesn't feel like he fits inside his own body. If you ever wanted to understand mental health issues, then I would suggest reading this book because it describes it in a really good way. It's a road trip book as well, I think, because they are having to go on these wanderings while getting to know each other. The ending sort of reminds me of Paper Towns a little bit, because one of them has to go looking for the other one who has left clues as to where they are. I'm not sure how many stars I gave this. I think it was 4 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy reading it, but it was a little harrowing at times. That's the end of that wrap up and review. I think that was 6 books altogether, so I'd love to talk to you about these books. If you want to, comment down below, we can talk about them. So I hope you guys are good, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!